1936 PCL Padre team, Ted Williams. How fitting. Here's Ted.
Thank you. And here is the first pitch of the ballgame. Right down the middle for a strike from Jared Kozar. Cloud cover here for the first time in this particular homestand. Number 10, if you're counting, on the 2016 season. Rockies are following the Boston Red Sox. 0-1 pitch on the way. Ground ball, second base. From one second baseman to the other one, Schimpf. Grab, throw. One gone and underway here in Game 3 with interleague play with the Boston Red Sox. Interleague began in 1997. And the purists said, oh, that's horrible. It takes away from the World Series. No, it doesn't. Many times teams have played each other in the NFL regular schedule, and they happen to meet in the Super Bowl. Doesn't take away from the Super Bowl, I don't think, or the World Series. And players get to see stars they've seen on TV. They get to see them in person. Team versus team, likewise. Can't beat it, I think. Fastball strike. To the second straight right-handed batter, Xander Bogaerts. Kozar deals. Tried that outside corner with the breaking ball. Nope. Curve didn't get there. 1-1. And Jesse and I discussed they missed out on having the DH in the National League parks instead of the other way around. I'm surprised they haven't changed that, but they haven't. Big disadvantage, of course, when they have to sit at David Ortiz and others. Fastball plowed up on the upper deck. Right in row one there. First base. Out of play. Nice catch. 1-2. I thought the other mistake they made early on, if you remember, it was, west-west, east-east, central-central for so many years when they needed to change that so you'd see even more and different teams you hadn't seen. They stayed with that for too long. Then they changed up. And you get your west-east and your east-central and what have you, like this year against the American League East. But it was too west-west for so many years. Fastball outside the ball. 2-2 to Bogaerts. He's 1 for 6 in the series. But he's walked 3 times in terms of getting on base. And his on-base percentage is a real good .361. Kozar to try that curveball inside. And the count is full. Will Myers at first, Schimpf at second. Sardinus the shortstop, Solarte at third. The way it's been in this series, Dickerson left, Jankowski in center, and John Jay is in right field. 3-2 fouled out of play. So clearly this is a lineup that Andy has not used all year. Haven't seen John Jay with Sardinus and Schimpf, etc. until today. And you haven't seen John out of center field. Good to have him back, though. Mookie Betts on deck. Right-hander deals on the 3-2. It's fouled away, third base side. Bogaerts wears number 2. Padre fans with a long memory remember my boy Jerry Coleman managed that 80 club, and he wore number 2 instead of his Yankee 42, because some long shot pitching prospect had 42, and Jerry, being Jerry, would not ask him for the number. So he wore number 2. He didn't much care about stuff like that anyway. 3-2 is fouled away. On the fastball, third base side. And yeah, they cut that guy eventually. Not so Jerry would get his number, because he didn't, but he did not make the club, and Jerry did not switch to 42. And yes, he wore that in New York, as you know, and Jackie Robinson wore it for the Brooklyn Dodgers in those Yankee-Dodger, seemingly every year, like World Series in the 50s. Now nobody wears 42, as you know. 3-2. Just missed outside, ball 4. Moving fastball to 95 miles an hour. Did not get the call outside. 1-out runner for Boston. Here's Mookie Betts.
Mentioned John Jay out in right field, and of course before the injury he was in center field most every day. We hardly saw Travis Jankowski in the first couple months of the season, which is so crazy to think about now that he's become such a big part of the everyday lineup. But Andy Green has said that Jay will move around. He'll play all 3 outfield positions, spell guys here and there. And Jankowski, who has started every single game since July 22nd, will get a day off sooner rather than later.
Here's Betts with that streak of getting on base. by hitter walk, hit batsman 24 consecutive games, and takes the first pitch strike after the base on balls. During that streak, by the way, of 24 straight getting on, he's hitting .398. Wow. Overall on the season, .317. Padre right-hander has a breaking ball outside. Starts in fastball curve in the sequence. 1-1. Betts is the number 6 hitter in the American League, led by Jose Altuve. Nobody's going to catch him for the batting title, that second baseman for Houston. Kozar with the glove about face high when he comes set. 1-1, hit in the air to left field. It is routine. It is the homeboy, Alex Dickerson, coming in straight away. One hand grab, shallow left, 2 gone. No score in the first.
What do you think of the giant black and white video board? It's a nice touch on the throwback game.
Different.
Yeah. It's like an old-time movie reel look to it almost.
No question.
Newsreel.
Here is Hanley Ramirez.
That's what the video boards looked like in the 30s, you know. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah, they had lots of boards. Lots of video boards back then, no question about that. And radar guns and all the things we enjoy today. Right hand hitting Ramirez, curveball, in there for a strike.
Going from the past today to the future tomorrow. You got the Andy Green Star Wars bobblehead day tomorrow with your theme game ticket tonight. 1936 jerseys. Cover all eras here.
Breaking ball delivered. That swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. 1936. Good heavens. Whew. That is a long time ago. How about that for a grasp of the obvious? But
80 years, in
still,
fact.
Exactly. But still, so long. So much has changed. Technology alone. Will Myers holding on against Bogarts. This is a line to left field. Dickerson's got it lined up. He's right there with a one-hand grab, face high, medium depth, straightaway left. That's all. Hard hit ball by Ramirez. Nothing but the walk. And Sox, interleague play ending for the Padres. Interleague play ending today for the Red Sox. Division play, as you know, is scheduled on purpose for all these great matches and matchups and the division races and wild card also. They'll play within your division in this final month for the most part. John Jay's back. 65 ball games he missed with that broken forearm. Got hit by a pitch by Gio Gonzalez, I believe it was, with the Washington Nationals. Oh, thanks a lot, Gio. Pinch hit, struck out yesterday, his first action since. Breaking ball delivered here by the lefty David Price, one of the best in baseball. Strike 1.
We talked about it last night. He stayed in the game for a couple of innings. He didn't think it was that big of a deal at the time.
There's 0-1. There's a curve. It's low. 1-1.
Jay been hit by a bunch of pitches in his career. He's one of those guys. He does get hit by the pitch a lot. And he says, sometimes it hurts. But when it was still bothering him the next day and the day after that, took a closer look at it. What do you know? 2 months later, here we are.
Price deals on the 1-1, coming off a victory. He's 5-0 lately in his last 5 starts. It's a joke on to Pedroia, second base, to Ramirez. 1 gone, no score, bottom of the first. Yeah, 5-0 the last 5 starts. Opposing batters hitting 197 against them. That's very David Price. What can I tell you?
ERA in that time, 2.06.
Oh, he's terrible. Just terrible. Terrible. But that's very much baseball players, man. Yeah, I'm all right. I can stay in. Even when they know it's broken. There have been instances of guys that would not come out of games. You play this game, you got to be mentally tough to begin with. Add on physical toughness. It's incredible. Ball delivered high to Luis Sardinas in the second spot for the second time on the homestand. Back to number 8 yesterday. Price delivers a strike. Nothing but off speed, curve, change, lots of stuff like that. 1-1. I remember 2 instances of that. No, it's broken, but I'm not coming out. I'm not telling you it's broken, so I'm okay. 1-1, swing and a miss, right through the fastball at 93. Roberto Clemente hit a line drive one time, hit Bob Gibson, the toughest guy on the planet of the Cardinals, in the leg. And Gibson knew, my leg's broken. Stayed in the ballgame. Pitched 2 more innings with a broken leg. He wouldn't give Clemente or anybody else the satisfaction of being helped off the field. He was as tough as I ever saw. Breaking ball, just outside. That's a cutter, I think. Not the breaking ball, cut fastball. Just missed outside, 2-2. 1 out in the first. Vanderbilt University's David Price. Dealing on the 2-2 curve outside. Full count. The other Vanderbilt guy, Dan B. Swanson, who we saw in Atlanta, got his first major league home run yesterday, and it was Jesse gave me the international sign for inside the park with his index finger going in a circle. International sign for inside the park home run. And the judges say, "You are correct, sir." Outfield straight up. 3-2 fouled out of play on the first base side. Up in a terrace.
Hitting the ball over the fence is overrated. And you just hit it somewhere where they are and keep running until you cross home plate. That's what Dansby Swanson did.
Against Washington, I mean, it really did. Was a center fielder was way on to the wall. It went away from him and kept going back toward the infield. Bryce Harper has to go about 200 feet to go back up and chase it down. And by that time, Swanson, not even a close play at the plate, had his first major league home run, that former #1 pick. There it is. Changeup. He's got a dandy. Strike 3 called. Sardinez is the second out here in the bottom of the first.
You know, triples are fluky. Inside the park home runs obviously are fluky. Now, in some ballparks, there's great spots for both of those for a quick guy. But, you know, just think about the Kemp triple last year at Coors Field that completed the cycle. You needed the goofy bounce, and that's what he got. You know, kind of hit the top of that padding halfway up the wall at Coors Field in right center field. And that's pretty much why he was able to get to third base as opposed to a double.
David Price, curveball, strike call. Coming off a win in Oakland when they won that series 2 out of 3. Before they flew here, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. Check swing, it's inside. To Mr. Myers. A home run away from a 25-25 season. You know, I was talking about 30-30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. We haven't had that since 2013. Will's got a shot. Fastball a little bit high. 2-1.
Well, David Price is nibbling very accurately, and that might sound weird, so I'll explain what I mean. I mean, every pitch is just high or just off the plate. He's not getting those calls right now, but he's not missing by much.
6'5", 215-pound left-hander with a huge contract and a pitch fastball foul down the left field line and out of play. 2-2. He's from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Lives now in Nashville. As Dennis Miller said on his Monday Night Football year when they played in Nashville. Yeah, I told Dan Fauci he had gone visiting on a tour of the sequin mines in Nashville during the day before the night game. Sequin mines. Good one. Yeah, a little gaudy, a little flashy. Think Dolly Parton and all those jackets those guys wear. In the old time, especially country music, not so much today. Fastball to Will is inside. 2 out, nobody on. Second full count here in this first for David Price. He was just 31 last month. David Price. Huge free agent off-season signing. But the Red Sox, like those other big market clubs, nothing but money. 3-2, ground ball, Pedroia with a dive. Can't get it on the right side. At second base, it's on the right field for a base hit. There goes that no-hitter for David Price. 2-out runner. Base hit Myers, his second hit of this series.
I was surprised that Pedroia didn't get to that one. It almost unfolded in slow motion on the right side of the infield. I don't know if he was a step late or what. He actually ended up over-diving on that ball hit to his left. And again, maybe it was a little bit of a late break for Pedroia, and because of that, he dove and his timing was off. But off the bat, I thought for sure he was going to have a play on that ground ball.
Solarte. Back-to-back home runs in the Dodgers series, 2 hits in this series. Both singles yesterday in Game 2. Padres win Game 1, these guys, yesterday. So Ty, ground ball third base. That's inside the bag. That is down the line into the corner. Will Myers rounding second. Huffey coming down the line, going to bring him home. Chris Young is up and throwing. They'll never get him. He'll score standing. Clutch, big time clutch here by Solarte with an RBI double down the left field line. 1-0. By Padres in the first.
Yeah, Solarte got a pitch up. They wanted it up. I don't think it was as up as they wanted it. And he put it in the perfect place, kind of rattled around that left field corner a little bit. Chris Young did everything he could, but with 2 outs, Myers running on contact. He runs very well and able to score standing from first base.
59 RBIs now for Solarte. By the way, just his 15th batting right-handed. Padres have not done well this year against lefties. This is some kind of lefty out there, but they're on the board first. Here is Alex Dickerson, lefty on lefty. Price's curve, strike call.
And we've said this a couple of times recently when Alex has started against a left-handed pitcher. Andy Green does not mind Dickerson against lefties. There's some guys, you'd prefer maybe not to have him in the starting lineup. Dickerson, not one of them. He handles lefties fine.
Alex 3 for 6 in the series, sitting on 8 home runs. It's a powerful young man. Fastball ground to third base. Got a nice big hop coming up for Travis Shaw. Grab, throw, inning over, but for the Red Sox fans, up Leon, Bradley, Young, Jared Kozak. Good stuff. I really believe in this guy. Fastball strike called.
Yeah, hiccup last time out.
Oh, big time.
And I'm excited to see kind of how he responds here tonight against, obviously, a very tough lineup.
Second start for this left-hand hitting catcher. Takes the strike on the breaking ball. He's batting left-handed. Technically, he's a switch hitter. Not left-hand hitting. He's just doing that right now. Don't see as many switch hitters these days as in the old days for whatever reason. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Wow. Curveball in the dirt. What a pitch. Strike 3, 1 gone in the top of the second. First strikeout for Kozak. That's okay as long as guys are playing ball, you know what I mean? That always bothered me when I was doing the Charger play-by-play. And my kids would watch the game on television. We were on the road. And at halftime, when in my generation, we'd go out and play ball at halftime and make believe we're whomever. And they would go right to the video console and play NFL whatever on a video game at halftime instead of going to play ball. I don't think that's a good sign for America's youth. I just really don't. Pitches outside and high to Jackie Bradley.
And I'll give both the NFL and Major League Baseball credit. They're really emphasizing that whole get out and go play thing.
Yeah.
They each have their own initiatives. It's important, for sure.
Yeah, man. Exercise, teamwork, sportsmanship, all the thing it teaches. I don't mean to do a lecture here, but it's outside of ball 2-0. To Jackie Bradley Jr. Home run yesterday and a couple of walks. Nice day for him. Home run was number 23. This is some kind of player. Overshift on. Fastball outside. I love the playing ball story. When the Diamondbacks were, I believe it was Chris Owings of the Diamondbacks, who said when he was a kid, they had to replace the garage door 3 times during the course of his lifetime growing up in the house because of he and his brothers, bang, 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 throwing the balls off the garage door. That's a pretty good investment. I think it was worth it, even if he didn't make the majors. Here's the pitch to Bradley. Man, walked him on 4 straight. Second walk for Jared Kozart. Here is Chris Young.
I was all tennis ball on the garage door.
Oh, yeah.
So it lasted. Yeah. It was...
Yeah. And in New York City, it was stick ball with a broom handle and a rubber ball from the Spalding Company that we New Yorkers called Spalding instead of Spalding. And you got a brand new Spalding. It was a pink ball, smelled great, smell the rubber. I can smell it now. Stickball and stoop ball were off the tenement steps. One guy would stand there and he'd throw the ball against trying to get the point of the steps to have it fire back to the guys out in the street. This one is fired on the first one. Down the left field line, hooking foul is foul by about half a section. Off the right hand hitting Chris Young, who's homered in game 1, game 2, and could not straighten that one out in game 3.
Plenty comfortable here, the former Diamondback.
Speaking of them, as we were a moment ago, and Owings. Young's home runs, number 7, number 8. Throwback uniforms, cool. The black and white scoreboard, by the way, is a great touch. I hadn't even noticed it. So smart. I'm so absurd. So Jesse mentioned it. I didn't even realize, but I like it. It fits the motif, as it were. Oh, and fastball high from close out, 1-1. Reminds me of what they call the movie tone news. You go to the theaters back there in the 40s and 50s, and they'd have the cartoons and then the newsreel that had all the current events before television, in fact. That was a big thing. That's what it looks like to me. Not that I'm not old. Somebody told me. 1-1 fouled out of play. Terrace first base. 1-2.
I like when the other team gets in on the act as well. You know, you see some of these throwback games, and the home team will be wearing uniforms from whether it's the 80s or the 40s, whatever, and then the visiting team is just in their normal uniforms. But the Red Sox agreeing to play ball, as it were, wearing their throwbacks, which, of course, aren't really all that different than the normal uniforms, but they are. Just need the umpires in on the act now.
Yeah.
The old caps and the ties.
The jackets.
Yeah.
The 1-2, just inside from close up. Fastball 93 has been up to 95. Of course, I got to figure if Mike D calls Boston and says, "Hey, Sam Kennedy, we used to work together in San Diego, work together in Boston. Here, I need you to do this for me when you come in. We wear the throwbacks." That was probably not a resistant, tough conversation for Sam, a great guy, to say yes. He's now the president of the Red Sox. Longtime Padre employee. There's a 2-2 into center field. Lined up, Jankowski back a couple of steps, makes the grab. Out number 2 with a 1-0 Padre lead here in the second. Here's Travis Shaw. First appearance, period, of the series.
Tough couple days for Yoan Moncada at the plate, huh?
You think?
Started at third base on Monday afternoon and last night. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in the opener. 0 for 4 with 4 more strikeouts yesterday. They said, we're going to go ahead and give him a mental break. 7 straight strikeouts will do that to a 20-whatever-year-old just up from Double-A. Not Triple-A, Double-A. 21 years old, Moncada.
Yeah. Shaw from the left side. Padre run if you missed it. 2-out double Solarte. About that lead. It's gone. So is that ball to deep right field off the bat of Shaw. No doubt about it. Off a fastball, just turned it around. 2-run, 2-out home run, 2-1 Boston.
This is a guy batting 8th who really, for all intents and purposes, just lost his job hitting his 16th home run of the season. Think about that. Relegated to a bench role, batting 8th, and just knocked in his 67th and 68th runs of the season.
Like those Clemens fastballs down the middle yesterday, they got hammered. That one really got out of here all of a sudden. Here's David Price. 0 for 7 on the year in his interleague action. And takes outside, ball 1.
That was way up and out in right field, too. I mean, not only over the old wall in right, but into that, further back section of the lower level.
Pitch delivered. Fastball on the sequence. Fouled away at third base. Hey, the scores are up on the board and right. These folks can see it from that third base dugout quite nicely. And the Yankees are beating Toronto for the 3rd straight day. It's 2-0 in the top of the 8th in New York. The two come in, Blue Jays, Red Sox, tied at the top of the American League East. 1-1, Kozar, strike called. Kozar Norris, your battery. Not sure I mentioned that when I checked the defense. Flailed, as it were. The third straight fastball away. Strike three. Strikeout of Leon to start the inning. Likewise, Price to end it. But I should deal with and doing it for you. It's a win-win. It's wonderful. It's marvelous. Thank you. Thank you, BH Gold. One of the largest brokers of Mercury Insurance. Also in their low rates and incredible service at bhgold.com. 6, 7, 8 batters for the Homeboys. In the all-white 36 PCL unis. Norris, Schimpf, Jankowski. 2-1 Red Sox. Fastball, David Price. Strike call. What a beautiful night post-Labor Day. The big lefty's fastball in there for a strike. Quick 0-2. Hector Sanchez catching yesterday. Derek in game 1 where he was 0 for 3. 0-2, foul back out of play. Has never faced David Price. The amazing Ryan Schimpf is on deck. That's one of the neatest stories I've seen in my time with the Padres. I got to be honest with you. I've never seen a rookie do what this kid's doing. And in this number of at-bats, nobody ever has. Pitch inside to Derek. 1-2. Extra base hitting machine on deck. Alert, alert. 1-2 off the end of the bat. Popped up left side. Shortstop Bogart's backing up onto the grass a couple of steps. Calling. Two-hand catching. One away. All right, Ryan, what do you got? 35 extra base hits out of 47 at-bats. Truly remarkable, including home run number 17 yesterday in his second at-bat.
17 homers in 250 plate appearances to start his career. Never been done by a Padre before, and only a handful of times in Major League history.
1 for 4. That home run was his only hit yesterday. He takes ball one, facing, of course, for the first time, ace lefty David Price.
Selection of guys who have also had 17 homers in their first 250 career plate appearances.
Here's a pitch. It's on the outside corner for strike. Price maxing at 94 so far on the gun. 1-1.
Ryan Braun, Albert Pujols, Ryan Klesko as a Brave, Mark McGwire, Wally Joyner. I mean, it's really a very small club.
Which is outside. And they were writing today how, the rookie record is Nate Colbert's 24 home runs, original type Padre. But he did it in 500 at-bats. Yeah. So Ryan's pace is a joke. It's stupid, as the players say. It's silly. It's outrageous. Price delivering in a swing and a miss. 2-2. Now they'll shift on him with an 0-2 count. Bogart's on the left side, only along. He is lonesome. The shortstop 2-2. Curve low and outside. Nice job. That impresses me. Not just the power, but the eye. Yeah. The discipline at the plate. I understand, 6-7 years of the minors. It didn't come out of, half a season like he's done in the majors. So those skills have been developed in the Blue Jays organization. Here's a 3-2 on its way. Out in front, line foul down the right field line. Who did I see the other day that had Ryan on his ball club? Bob Lippman, the play-by-play guy for the New Hampshire Fisher Cats of the Blue Jays organization. And Bob told me, hey, I've called more home runs of Ryan Schimpf than you have in the minor leagues. Trust me. He was here doing the New Hampshire Aztec football game on Saturday. And the New Hampshire team flew back. The Bobs say, hey, no, I'm going to Petco Park to see the Red Sox. Typical New England broadcaster. 3-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's a good changeup right there. This guy's got it all. He's got it all. Curve, cutter, fastball, sink it. Changeup, terrific. That's his second strikeout. Here's Travis Jankowski batting in the 8th spot. First pitch, swhack and hack into the fastball, fouled away down the left field line. Boston. They fly out of here tonight. Long night into Toronto for an off day Thursday and a big weekend head-to-head of the two teams at the top of the American League East. Jankowski takes a strike on a fastball. 2 out, nobody on. 0-2 count on the Padre 8-hitter, who, as you know, has batted leadoff most of the time. A couple of times to the 9th spot, 8th spot. Today, with John Jay back leading off. 0-2 fouled out of play, third base. Gave Big Papi a surfboard. I mean, it was major league. Huge. Had it in a big black cloth at home plate before they unveiled it in the pregame ceremonies. 0-2 on the way, fouled out of play. There's two strikes and 2 outs here, so but remind me later, not apologizing to the Red Sox fans, but correcting myself when I said that Big Papi, when he was caught and accused of using PEDs, had been suspended. He wasn't suspended. He was not suspended. But he was caught by Major League Baseball. It was publicized. So I want to apologize, at least from the standpoint to him, that he was not suspended and get it right. 0-2 low. And I will say again what I said. I love this guy. There should be 15, 25 Big Papis in baseball that pose for selfies with the fans, that signed autographs, and just their personality is huge, and they're great ambassadors for the game. I ain't knocking Big Papi by saying that on that PED thing, because he is so good for baseball. Gonna miss him big time. Fastball taken. Strike 3 call. That's all. 2-run shot by Travis Shaw in his first at-bat of the series. Go figure. Pedroia, leadoff guy, doing that in the third. Here's Jesse.
All right, thanks a lot, Ted. Appreciate it. Pedroia 0 for 1, grounded out to second his first time up, and a rarity. Swinging at the first pitch, but he dribbles it foul back towards the Boston dugout on the third base side. 0-1. Pedroia just red hot. However, last night, 0 for 4 to have the 11-game hitting streak come to an end. Sorry, Monday afternoon 0 for 4. And then last night, back on the horse, going 2 for 5. The 0-1, and Pedroia takes just inside from Jared Cosart. 1 ball and 1 strike. So, yeah, in the first game of this series, the 11-game hitting streak come to an end. It was his 6th streak of 10 or more games this year. Think about that. 6 different hitting streaks of at least double digits. This fastball is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
You know the guy they're honoring today in this 80th PCL? Ted Williams never did that.
Nobody in Red Sox history had, and obviously,
can you imagine?
It would have been anyone. It would have been Ted Williams.
And this guy's done that. That is some stat.
First guy to do it in baseball, period, since Jeter did it in 1999. 2-1, big slow curveball, loops it into left center field. Jankowski on the run, not going to get there. Falls down in front of him. Pedroia takes a somewhat aggressive turn around first base, but he retreats to the bag. And it's a lead single for the leadoff hitter. He's now hit in 2 straight. And so, 13 out of his last 14 games. The batter will be the shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts walked his first time up last night, single and a walk. Walked in the first game of the series, going 0 for 3. He'll turn 24 at the beginning of October. One of these young, exciting Red Sox players. Takes a curveball low from Cozart. 1 ball and no strikes. Cozart making his 11th start of the season. Some of those with the Marlins. This is number 7 in a Padre uniform. Came over as part of the big trade with Miami on the 29th of July. The Cashner trade. And boy, Andrew Cashner with some quotes in the Miami Herald the last couple of days about his impending free agency. Here comes the 1-0. Bogarts ground ball to shortstop. Could be 2. Sardinas goes to Schimpf. That's 1 on to first high, and it brought Myers off the bag. Should have been a double play. Schimpf's throw to Will Myers was high. Will had to jump in the air, as he did. Bogarts able to hit first base. So it'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice. No error because you can't assume the double play, but it should have been a double play. So instead of 2 outs and the base is empty for Mookie Betts, it's 1 out and a runner on first. Schimpf had time. Just threw high. Betts waits, takes a big curveball high. 1-0 from Cozart. See, Andrew Cashner, like on the record in the newspaper in Miami, said if there's any shot of me re-signing here, they're going to have to change their facial hair policy. And he wasn't kidding. Said he hates it. He used the word hate about having to shave his beard. This one's in the air right field. Coming in is John Jay. Has a beat on it. Makes the catch on the sinking line drive. Betts retired. Bogarts back to first. 2 away.
We mentioned that Raleigh Fingers retired and rather than shave his handlebar mustache. When the Reds insisted, no, can't have a facial hair. Wonder what Cash would do if it came down to extra millions of dollars in Miami versus someplace else. Would he turn down $1 million plus to have a beard?
It's a great question. Of course, there's nothing to say the Marlins are even going to offer him a contract. He's really struggled since ending up in Miami. But very interesting to hear a guy so strongly go on the record about something like that. Here's Hanley Ramirez, 2 outs, runner on first, and he takes a fastball just outside from Cozart. 1 ball and no strikes.
And I'm assuming, by the way, you and I have discussed this, that since Donnie Mattingly had a mustache when he played for the Yankees, that this policy is not his.
Correct.
It's above him.
Yes, all the way at the top.
Yes, good point. In the chain of command, as they call it in the military.
Yeah. Throw to first, Bogarts back standing. He's got 13 stolen bases on the year. Second most of anybody in the starting lineup for the Red Sox. Betts has 21. Yeah, Jeffrey Loria kind of fashions himself like a mini Steinbrenner. And that's where that rule comes from. Here's a 1-0. That's hit in the air, deep center. Jankowski is tracking it back. He is on the track. He is at the wall. He makes the catch. Travis Jankowski about a step shy of the wall, hauls it in. Hanley Ramirez just missed it. A deep.
Mighty 1090 Padres Radio Network.
2-1 Red Sox, bottom of the third. Jared Cozart leading off against David Price, and he takes a fastball outside, maybe high. 1 ball and no strikes. Padre pitcher is 1 for 14 on this season, 0 for 8 in a Padre uniform. Over at third base, Shaw plays in a couple steps in front of the bag, and this is a strike. Fastball on the outside corner, 1-1 to Cozart. David Price making his 30th start of the season. Ted told you he's been really good. 1-1 pitch, a called strike. Inside corner, 1-2. Friday night in Oakland, went 7 innings, allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. And 5-0 in his last 5 starts. Yada, yada, yada. 1-2 from Price is hit foul, right side out of play. Still a ball and 2 strikes to Jared Cozart. Price's 3 strikeouts tonight get him up to 196 on the season, so he'll hit that 200 mark sooner rather than later. And he entered play tonight, tied for 4th in the American League in strikeouts with Chris Sale. Here's the 1-2. Cozart goes the other way. That is his first base hit in a Padre uniform. Nice job by Cozart. Kind of inside outing and inside pitch and sending it to right field for a leadoff single here in the bottom of the third. Padres baseball is brought to you by your San Diego County Lexus dealer. Save on twice the selection of Lexuses today during the Golden Opportunity Sales event at Lexus Carlsbad and Lexus Escondido. Now the leadoff hitter, John Jay. First start since mid-June. Cosart single, the third hit of the night for the Padres against Price. And a breaking ball strike to John Jay, 0-1. Mentioned it earlier, but certainly bears repeating. Travis Jankowski with a right-handed starting pitcher on the mound, probably going to be the leadoff guy pretty much every time. But with the left-hander Price up there, it'll be Jay in the leadoff spot, Jankowski down in the batting order, because Jay this year has really handled left-handed pitching. The 0-1 is inside and low. In fact, his batting average this year against left-handed pitchers is .346. A very respectable .274 against right-handed pitching, but Jay, when healthy this year, was eating up southpaws. So there you go. That's why he's leading off, and Jankowski is batting eighth. Jay, this evening, 0 for 1. Grounded out to Pedroia to lead off the bottom of the first. Here's the 1-1 from Price. That's hit the other way. That is going to get down for a base hit. Cosart will stop at second base as Young comes in to pick up the baseball near the foul line. But back-to-back singles to open the bottom of the third inning, and the Padres have runners on first and second, nobody out, and Luis Sardinas coming up. Cosart went to the opposite field. Jay did the same. And now down 2-1 here in the bottom of the third inning. The Padres in business, and Sardinas looking down at the former Red Sox. Third base coach Glenn Hoffman flashing the signs. And after Sardinas, it's Myers and Solarte. So it certainly wouldn't be the biggest surprise in the world to see the Padres try a sacrifice here. And now the catcher, Leon, is going to step out in front of the plate and flash his team signs. Shaw and Ramirez, the two corner infielders, are kind of in where the grass meets the dirt. At the very least, they are half expecting a bunt from Sardinas. Let's see how it all plays out. Price comes set. Sardinas squares, and the bunt is up the third base line, and perfect. Leon has only one play. It's to first. Pedroia there covering, and they get Sardinas by about a step and a half. So a successful 2-4 sacrifice for Luis Sardinas. Cosart goes to third, Jay goes to second, and Will Myers goes to the batter's box. Well, that was a perfect bunt. In a sacrifice situation, just deadened it out in front of the plate, rolled up the third base line exactly where he wanted it. So 2 in scoring position for Myers. Red Sox leading 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. Runners take their leads, and the first pitch to Myers is grounded foul outside of third base. 0-1. Myers singled his first time up. That was with 2 outs in the first. He would come in and score the Padre run on Yangervis Solarte's RBI double.
Got John Jay's last hit on June 17.
Long time
today.
coming.
And that was a 3-hit day against Joe Ross, Tyson's brother in Washington, when he went double, single, double. Nothing till this base hit right here now.
Long time ago. No balls and a strike to Myers. Will waits, and the pitch from Price is hit in the air left field. Over towards the gap is Young. He'll make the catch. Cosart tagging. He'll come home and score. It's a 2-2 game. Sacrifice fly for Will Myers. And in a rally started by Jared Cosart's first hit in a Padre uniform, they have tied the game. Single, sack, bunt, sack, fly. And with 2 outs and John Jay at second base, the batter will be Yangervis Solarte. Solarte knocked in the first Padre run. Now they're going to appeal over to third base, see if Cosart left early. And he did not. Plate umpire Kerwin Danley had the call, and he gave the safe sign. Nice job by Cosart. Second hit of the season. First as a Padre, comes in to score on the sac fly. Jay leads off of second base. And Solarte batting right-handed waits. Price looks at second, comes home, and Jan Hervis swings and misses at a high fastball, 0-1.
I actually was watching when Cosart left, and it occurred to me he left early.
Yeah, no, it was
really
very
did.
close.
And,
yeah.
The Red Sox saw what Jesse and I saw. Be glad Bob Davis has not got the plate, man. Balkin' Bob. And he always makes that play many, many times. He's more than anybody will call a guy out for leaving early on the sac fly from third.
0-1 is Solarte, line drive up the middle. Pedroia's there, and he makes the catch pretty much right behind second base. So Solarte lines out to end the inning, but the Padres ticket to get the giveaway. 2-2 game, top of the fourth. Rubber game against the Boston Red Sox, and the switch-hitting catcher Sandy Leon leads off against Jared Cosart. And a first-pitch curveball is a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Leon, batting left-handed, struck out against Cosart in his first AB. That was leading off the second. Here he leads off the fourth. Red Sox took a 2-0 lead on Travis Shaw's 16th home run back in the second inning. Sorry, a 2-1 lead. And the Padres tied it back up in the bottom of the third on the Will Myers sacrifice fly. The 0-1 is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Leon starting his 51st game behind the dish for the Red Sox, more than anybody else on the Boston roster. Mixing and matching a little bit behind the dish, especially in September. 1-1 fastball is outside, 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, with the expanded rosters, 9 bench players available to John Farrell. Padres have 5 for comparative purposes tonight. Here's the 2-1. And that's it near center field. Jankowski kind of right where he was standing. Now a few steps over towards the left center field gap, makes the catch. 1 away. It was sort of a knuckler right at him, and Travis took a moment to figure it out. Sorry.
I'm going to read this now. Hope I don't mess it up. It's another baseball night in San Diego. All-fan giveaway on Saturday, September 10, when the Padres play the Rockies at 5:40. All fans in attendance receive the Padres-themed USB charger presented by T-Mobile. Tickets at Padres.com. There. That wasn't so hard, now was it?
Jackie Bradley Jr., left-handed hitter, takes low. 1 ball, no strikes. 4-pitch walk to Bradley in his first plate appearance. Came in to score on the Shaw homer. Love the USB charger. Very useful. So Bradley has seen 5 pitches from Cosart tonight, all balls. This one is grounded weakly to the right side. Myers off the bag at first, has it, flips underhand to Cosart high, and he does not get down on the bag. Cosart landed funny on first base. Now he's down on a knee, and now crouching in foul territory. Might have twisted an ankle as he landed on the base, and they'll go take a look at him. It was very close as to whether or not Cosart got down on the bag before Bradley got there. It was a great flip from Myers as he came charging in. And no, he never caught the bag, Cosart. And then it was actually on the landing, I think, that he rolled his left ankle a little bit. He just missed the base as he came down. Tried to reach for it with his right toe, but was in front of the bag. A really tough play, in all fairness. And now a little bit of injury to insult.
It was a heck of a feed, you know. It's just that it was not so much high, but when the leap by Cosart, he just happened to be in the air and couldn't get back on the bag in time to get his foot on the bag. This doesn't look good.
No.
When they tell you to sit on down and get off your leg, that's not a good sign for somebody who's going to stay in a baseball game.
Particularly a starting pitcher. They're actually feeling around up by his right knee. E3, by the way.
Dan Bosley on the phone. Got to get somebody up here who, as you know, will take as much time as he needs, but still, it's the last thing you want to go into your bullpen in the 4th inning. And that indeed may be happening.
Yeah, Padres have had to do that sort of thing far too frequently as of late. Go to the bullpen early. Last night, Paul Clemens went 4+. Monday afternoon, Edwin Jackson, it was huge. He went 7. But Christian Friedrich had a start where he didn't get out of the 5th in Los Angeles this past weekend. And then you go back to Atlanta, and it was Cosart, Clemens, Jackson. None of them got out of the 4th or 5th inning. Cozart is walking back towards the mound, not the dugout, which is certainly encouraging.
Got him to his feet, and then he landed, and pretty solid. And like you said, walking over pretty good. But now stopping, squatting. You just can't take the chance, I don't think, that especially, when you're landing on every pitch.
Yeah, the head athletic trainer, Mark Rogo, is out there with Andy Green, and it looks like the conversation is Cozart saying, hey, let me throw, and Rogo, the trainer, is shaking his head like, I don't think that's a good idea. And Andy Green is going to listen to the head athletic trainer, understandably, and he's going to take the ball from Jared Cozart. Oh, so a tough break for the guy, 26 years old, making his 7th start in a Padre uniform, trying to bounce back from a...
Fans, you know what you can hang a star on? A new Honda. In fact, you can hang 5 stars, because the 2016 Accord, Odyssey, Fit, and CR-V have all been awarded 5-star overall ratings from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Hondas are safe. So visit sdhondadealers.com today.
Always sunny.
Government 5-star safety ratings are part of the U.S. Department of Transportation's new car assessment program. www.safercar.gov. Model tested with standard side airbags as they be.
This is Padres Baseball on the mighty 1090 Padres Radio Network.
So starting pitcher Jared Cozart out of this game because of an injury here in the top of the 4th inning. Padres and the Red Sox tied at 2, and Carlos Villanueva comes out of the bullpen for the 50th time this season. He has kind of been the swing guy for the Padres, or at least the long relief guy here this season. And he's getting as much time, of course, to warm up as he needs. In the meantime, we remind you that Padres Baseball is brought to you by Petco. Petco is your complete pet store with all the nutrition, supplies, and services you need to support the health and well-being of your pet.
And looking at the replay, I mean, the back of the heel of Cozart's foot looked like it was on the bag to get a put out at first base, which would be no error, and the second out.
No challenge by Andy Green. Very close. Really tough to see.
Yeah.
But it's an error on Myers, and so Bradley on first base, 1 out. Again, the score 2-2 here in the top of the 4th. Then the batter will be Chris Young. Villanueva ready to go. And Carlos set at the belt. Comes home. Runner acted like he was going, then returned to the base. And Chris Young acted like he was bunting and then pulled the bat back, took a strike. Fastball at 87 from Villanueva. 0-1. Young lined out to Jankowski in center field his first time. 0 for 1. Be interesting to see how much they ask of Carlos Villanueva tonight. Throw to first. And Bradley in easily. Carlos this year does have a 4-inning appearance. That was back at Tampa a few weeks ago. 3 times he has thrown 3 innings of relief. Another throw to first, this time a little bit closer as Bradley dives back to the bag. So he can supply you that if needed. Obviously, it will be in part dependent upon how effective he is tonight. Another throw to first. That's 3 in a row. Bradley back standing. Bradley 7 for 9 trying to steal bases. He reached on the error. Myers had to go a long way to field the ball on the right side of the infield. Underhand feed to Cozart. It was a little bit high. Cozart landed awkwardly, comes out of the game with the injury. Now the 0-1 to Young. That's hit hard to left field for a base hit. Right in between Solarte and Sardinas. Just like that, runners on first and second, 1 out, and the batter will be Travis Shaw, who hit a monster home run his first time up.
Pitching change here of Villanueva for the injured Cozart, brought to you by the United Food and Commercial Workers. What a lovely time to salute labor on this week of Labor Day and the Labor Day weekend. They are the UFCW Local 135 in San Diego, a union supporting its workers, supporting their community. They'll have their big golf tournament coming up in the fall shortly. Within a month or so, to give back thousands and thousands to this community, as they've done for as long as I've known them, which is a long time.
Shaw's home run gave the Red Sox a 2-1 lead. Left-handed batter takes a curveball. That one drops in for a strike. 70 miles per hour from Villanueva. 0-1. Hit it a long way up into the second section of seats in the lower level in right field. way up and over the old home run wall in right. Villanueva's 0-1 pitch is hit hard but foul, lined into the seats beyond the first base dugout. 0-2. For Shaw, it was his 16th homer, his 67th and 68th RBIs. Young and Bradley lead off of first and second, respectively. Here comes the 0-2 to Shaw. It's just high. Fastball at 88, and the count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. Villanueva comes set, comes home, and the pitch is grounded to the right side, past Schimpf into right field. Jay is charging. They are sending Bradley. The throw will go to second and now all the way through to third. It's an RBI single for Travis Shaw. He puts the Red Sox back on top. 3-2 Boston here in the fourth. Have a night, Travis Shaw. He has driven in all 3 Red Sox runs. Young stopped at second base, so runners on first and second. Still just the 1 out. And Villanueva will go to work on David Price in what could be a sacrifice situation. Price has accomplished many things in his major league career. Collecting a successful sacrifice hit is not one of them. He's never done it. Pushes this one foul. Back to the screen. 0-1. American League guy's entire career, of course, debuted with the Rays back in 2008. 1 year after they made him the #1 overall pick out of Vanderbilt. Pitched for Tampa, Detroit, Toronto, and now the Red Sox. 2 hits in 45 career at-bats, and again, he has never had a sac bunt. Here's the 0-1. Pulls back the bunt, takes a strike. 0-2. Myers comes in to chat with Villanueva from first base. Padres defensively looking like they still expect Price to bunt, even with an 0-2 count. Villanueva set, the pitch. Price is swinging away, and he pops it foul left side. Still 0-2. Young at second base, Shaw at first. 1 out. And 1 unearned run in this inning. Even after Price just swung away from the left side, both Myers and Solarte are in on the grass here in case he tries to bunt again. Pitch coming, he's taking, it's strike 3. So that's a big second out here in the 4th inning for Carlos Villanueva, his first K. And with 2 on and 2 out, it'll be the leadoff hitter, Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia's .325 average coming into play tonight, second only to Jose Altuve in the American League. 1 for 2. With a single and a ground out. Both runners going, and the double steal pulled off by the Red Sox. Villanueva never checked him. Fastball, a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Young takes third easily, Shaw at second, and now 2 men in scoring position for Pedroia. Boy, they just went. Runners lead off second and third. The 0-1 to Pedroia is in the dirt. Nice stop by Norris. It was a curveball that bounced in there. 1-1. With 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year, Pedroia batting just .222. That's the situation here. Boston on top, 3-2 in the top of the fourth. They've got runners on second and third, 2 outs, and it's a 1-1 count to Dustin Pedroia. Here's the pitch. It is low outside. Close. Villanueva does not get the call, and the count swings to Pedroia. 2 balls and a strike. Book is now closed on Jared Cosart. Leaves with the injury after 3 1/3. He allowed 3 runs on 2 hits. Only 2 of the runs were earned. Couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. He threw 50 pitches. 30 were strikes. Here's the 2-1 to Pedroia. That's hit hard out to left field. Dickerson's not going to have a play on it, and it will one-hop over the short fence and left. No, they're going to say it's in play. Both runs come in to score. It's a double for Pedroia. Thought it was over the fence. Either way, it was going to be a 2-run double. And now a 5-2 Boston lead here in the fourth. More unearned runs. Inning should be over. That was sort of that classic Pedroia swing, almost down to one knee, pulling the ball to left, shooting it towards the corner. And on one hop, it went off the top of that short wall in left field. Dickerson played it well, but with 2 outs, both runners easily able to score. Shaw, of course, from third, and Young from second. So a 3-run inning for the Red Sox, a 5-2 lead. And the batter will be Xander Bogaerts. He takes a first pitch strike from Villanueva, 0-1. For Dustin Pedroia, his 32nd double of the year, and now he has 60 RBIs.
Hanging breaking ball. He doesn't miss mistakes like that too often. It's too good.
The 0-1 to Bogaerts is a breaking ball just inside, 1-1.
And so popular. I bet he doesn't pay for too many drinks and dinners when he goes out in Boston. Just a hunch. I remember when the Padres went back with Dave Roberts after Dave had the stolen base, capital T, back in 04. And I said, Dave, you pay for any dinners when you come? No. No.
1-1 is in the air center field. Jankowski started back. Now he's got to come in on the run. He'll make the catch. Oh, Jankowski misread that one, but ends up making the play, and that will end the inning. But they're up 5-2. Padres had tied the game at 2 in the bottom of the third, but 3 unearned runs in the top of this fourth inning for Boston. Alex Dickerson leading off against David Price, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. 0-1. Dickerson to be followed by Norris and Schimpf. This is 5, 6, 7 in the Padre batting order. Price kicks the leg, comes home, and this one's lined to right field. That's going to be a base hit for Alex Dickerson. A curveball left a little bit up by David Price. Alex did not miss it. He's had a very nice series at the plate. Doubled in his first at-bat yesterday, and on Monday afternoon, a single, a double, a walk, and a run scored. So, a lead single for the Padres. And the batter will be Derek Norris. 5-2 Boston here in the bottom of the fourth. Each of the last 6 seasons, David Price has had an ERA of 3.5 or below. Clayton Kershaw, the only other guy who can say that. And he, of course, has done it in the American League. Norris takes the first pitch inside, 1-0. This year might be a little bit tough for Price to lower it enough. He's at 3.95 right now. So if he's going to have a 7th consecutive season under 3.5, he's going to have a really, really good September. He had a really, really good August, so it's doable. Padres going to try and make it more difficult here. And Norris checks the swing and a pitch. Called a strike on the outside corner. 1-1. Boy, there have been times tonight the strike zone has been really tiny. and other times where pitches like that are called strikes. Norris is 0 for 1. He popped a short, leading off the second inning. Here's the 1-1 to Derek. He swings and misses. 1-2.
By the way, the Cardinals lost their ball game today to Pittsburgh 4-3, and that Padre record this year of 25 consecutive home runs, 25 games, the National League record, they did not break that. They matched it at 25 yesterday. It ended. They did not, the Cardinals, homer tonight.
Amazing that a record could be new and untouched in years and then twice in one season. This one's looped in a very shallow right field. Betts is coming in. He'll make the catch, and Dickerson's got to scramble back to first base. Norris pops up to the right fielder. 1 away. Yeah, the Padres had sort of blown, through all these consecutive games with the home run records here this season, and then the Cardinals later in the same year matched the number.
And it's incredible. I mean, the Padres are not a home run hitting team. It is not a powerful lineup. And they still did that. That was the amazing part of it. But they did. We were there. We saw it.
This guy was a big part of it, Ryan Schimpf. First pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1 from David Price, who started him off with a changeup. Dickerson at first base, 1 away here in the 4th inning. Schimpf struck out his first time up. Had the home run last night, fouls this one straight back here. 0-2. So if you'll indulge me now, Ryan Schimpf's last 13 hits in order: homer, triple, triple, single, homer, double, triple, homer, homer, double, double.
Said homer more than Marge does. On The Simpsons.
2 singles among his last 13 hits.
It's crazy. It's crazy, I tells you.
Price ahead of him, though, 0-2. This is a tough matchup for him. Pitch is taken, strike 3 call. That was a fastball, top of the zone, maybe a little bit up. But Price gets the call. It's his 4th strikeout. And now 2 away after the Dickerson lead single. He's still at first base. And Travis Jankowski is coming to the plate. Third baseman Shaw has his heels against the dirt of the infield, but the rest of his feet are on the grass in case Travis tries to push a bunt that direction. Pitcher spot on deck, and Adam Rosales is waiting out there. First pitch curveball, that misses low, I guess. 1 ball and no strikes. Looked like a good pitch, both with the naked eye and electronically. But like we said, the strike zone's moving around a little bit tonight for both sides. This one goes the Padres' way. 1-0 to Travis. Price set at the belt. Doesn't even look at Dickerson. Comes home. And a little roller up the first baseline. Price barehands it, spins, throws to first. Nicely done. Lead single by Alex Dickerson, but David Price got the next 3 in order. And we'll head to injured Jared Cosart. And he's got Mookie Betts, Hanley Ramirez, and Sandy Leon. You've got Ted Leitner.
Thank you, Jess. I appreciate that. First one strike called. So the 3-4-5 of some kind of lineup, as we had mentioned, the top run-producing team in Major League Baseball. Not a good year to get the American League East and Interleague, but that's the way it turned out. As football coaches always say, got to play the schedule. Have no control over that. Yeah. But you'd rather face some bad teams. Of course, breaking ball in the dirt, 1-1. But having seen Baltimore, Toronto, Boston, wow, what offense. There's a breaking ball to strike from Carlos. 1-2. Betts has flied out twice. Seeing him in person for the first time. They got themselves a fantastic young player like Bradley. Among others, fly ball right field. It's routine and his tracks, says John Jay. Not even a step to make that 2-hand grab and 1 gone.
Saw an article today kind of making the argument for Mookie Betts as American League most valuable player here in 2016. It is a very convincing and compelling argument. He does everything. He's the true 5-tool, does it all. And really the only guy you can say that about in that MVP conversation.
Here's Hanley Ramirez. He's also flied out twice. And takes inside ball 1. 5-2, Boston. That place will be packed in Toronto this weekend when the Red Sox are there. And yeah, there'll be tons of Red Sox fans, I assure you. If they're not in Canada, they'll go to Canada. They probably bought out whatever tickets were not taken by the Toronto folk. It will be great baseball, great theater, playoff atmosphere. Heck, I thought we had that here Monday. The Padres are certainly not themselves in a race. The 1-0. Fastball strike called. 1-1. Leone on deck. That's 5 runs, 5 hits for the Red Sox. 2 runs. Same number of 5 hits for the boys. 2-run home run, Travis Shaw. That's it for the long ball. Villanueva deals. High fly ball to deep center field. Jankowski on the run to the warning track and makes the backhand grab. A stride away, as it were. Right from the fence in front of the Padre bullpen. 2 away.
His first time up, Hanley Ramirez hit one about that far to the right of straightaway center field. This one just to the left of straightaway center field. And both times, Jankowski making the catch, a step or 2 in front of the wall. Different pitcher, same result.
That's okay. It's an out in Fenway, too. Hanley, you know that. That's a big center, a big right. Right center. Left field, you got the monster. Different situation. The catcher, Leone, from the left side, taken low in the dirt, ball 1. Yankees over the Blue Jays 2-0. Mitchell beats Stroman. Tyler Clippard got the save. There's a breaking ball. It's a good one from Carlos. Curveball's been his out pitch for years. Strike called 1-1. 2 out, nobody on. Here's a 1-1. Fastball high. Two one by the reliever on the day. Preston to service. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Nothing report yet from the Padre clubhouse on Cozart. Looked like the knee. Two. Ground ball right side over Schiff on. No problem. Schiff is there on the grass about 6 feet out. And we'll make the grab and the throw on to Myers. 1, 2, 3. Nice job by Carlos. 5-2 Boston. Adam Rosales in the 9th spot hitting for Villanueva. On the relief here of Cozart. Breaking ball from David Price. Strike called. Adam had the big home run that won the ball game on Labor Day. David Price fastball blew it past him. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
2 runs. Both times against his record. That's
So 1 2/3 in relief for Villanueva. Pitch outside. Used a lot of cut fastball today. Change up. Good curve, David Price. This Tennessee guy and Vanderbilt University graduate. 1 2 to Adam Rosales. Fastball foul back. Wonder what that paycheck looks like. On the 1st and 15. I can't even imagine. You know, the state tax in Massachusetts, which is pretty high. I'm sure not as high as out of California. We're so proud. But real high. They've been known for their taxes in Massachusetts. That's why they call it Taxachusetts. But that must be some check. Delivering. Fastball, and Adam knew it. Strike 3 called. 93 miles an hour. 5th strikeout for David Price. 1 out in the 5th. Pinch hitter done. Top of the order. John Jay, good to see him back. Even without a number on the back of his jersey. Because on the throwback 36 PCL uniforms, of course, they didn't have names on the back then. When baseball started, they didn't have numbers either. Just an empty jersey. Now they went to numbers. Then they went to names. Not today. Throwbacks, ground ball, second base. On the first pitch swinging. That is Pedroia under Ramirez, 2 away in the bottom of the 5th. Luis Sardinas. Luis Urias, second baseman for Lake Elsinore. He's the Rookie of the Year. And the outstanding player, as it were. Then the California League. Always like to hear things like that. It's really, it matters. It really does. When you're building now from within, truly for the first time in Padre history. Draft, sign. Pour that money in there. You got to wait. Pitch inside, ball 1. But the stories, they're good. There's a ground ball on the right side again. Pedroia with a hop. Underhanding on to Sardinas. More concluding interleague play here on the 2016 season. Padres have been to Fenway a couple of times. These guys have been to Petco a couple of times, these Red Sox. Like we said, that tough American League East. Padres, of course, seeing Boston, Toronto, Baltimore, New York, Tampa, all of them. It's always cool to go to Fenway. Never have been to the new Yankee Stadium. That would have been great. But for the Padre fans and the organization, it's better to have New York and Boston come here. They're a big draw. Simply are. They're the biggest draws among road attendance for teams in baseball. So that worked out good, or well. Jackie Bradley takes a pitch inside, ball 1. 6, 7, 8 batters, Boston in the 6th with their 5-2 lead. Kevin Quackenbush on after Villanueva. Outside with the fastball, 2-0. Villanueva inning in 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs earned, no walks, 1 strikeout. Quackenbush's fastball is there for a strike. Mentioned the Red Sox former CEO, Larry Lucchino, who did great things here in San Diego, including getting this park built. That's a rather large thing. Larry's on the trip, had a chance to speak with him, see Stacy, and a bunch of old friends from the Red Sox organization. Pitch inside, 2-2. Have not seen their owners, don't know if they're here, John Henry and Tom Werner. Tom, of course, owned the Padres. Bought it from Joan Kroc. Back in the 80s, ground ball is fouled on the first base side. It was interesting because the truth of the matter is Tom Werner he bought the Padres, but he's a big Red Sox fan. Tom was a freshman at Harvard in 67. Now, if you're at Harvard in Boston in 67 and the Red Sox are having that amazing finish and Yastrzemski is carrying them onto a pennant. This is a line drive against the overshift. Out on second base is Shimp with the grab. He throws. Bradley is out, and that's 1 gone here in the 6th inning. So he fell in love with Fenway and the Red Sox and all that stuff, though Tom's from New York. And after the Padre ownership, he got in and was a part owner of the Red Sox. I'm happy for him. And he's been part of some championships, of course. Along with John Henry, used to have the Marlins. Here's Chris Young. Flied out and single. Curveball. Quackenbush in there for a strike. Got that save in Miami, of course, on that trip when they were resting Mauer. Last worked against the Dodgers on Sunday. Gave up a couple hits and a run. Look out. To the deck goes Chris Young. 1-1. Tom Werner had a house down at Del Mar on the beach one time. He invited me to lunch. We went swimming. And we're out there bobbing, and some guys off about 10 feet away looked at us. And I don't know if they intended it for me or Tom or both, but the guy said, "Boy, where's a tsunami when you need one?" Fastball. Strike call. I got to say it's for Tom. Because he was really unpopular then. The Padres were trading Darren Jackson and all those guys in the so-called fire sale, and Tom was in the spotlight and in the firestorm as the Padre owner. Check swing outside. Chris Young takes it 2-2.
And a pleasant afternoon to you too, sir.
Pretty good line. I've had worse or better, depending. Directed to me. 2-2. Almost hit him inside. Full count. Right-hander from Florida delivers a fly ball to left field. Dickerson from San Diego is going on back, and he makes the grab for San Diego. 2 gone in the top of the 6th. Tom Horner told me one time in high school he was just, actually I think it was grade school, he was just messing around and not making good grades. As I said, he eventually wound up at Harvard, and the guidance counselor brought him in and asked him his interest, and he said, television, baseball, and she said, that's not going to get you anything in life. You know, you have to do other more serious things. You're not going to get by on baseball and television. So he goes on with his partner, Marcy Carsey, to have the biggest, most successful independent television production company in history, and he owns 2 baseball teams. Good guidance counselor. Nice job. Good thing you didn't talk him out of it. In there, a strike to Travis Shaw. He's got the big 2-run home run back in the 2nd. Quackenbush outside. 1-1.
Got the update on Jared Cosart from the Padres. They say he has a strained right hamstring and a strained right groin.
Not good. Villanueva comes in for him on his 50th appearance. Quackenbush on his 50th. 5-0 right now. Taken is the left-hand hitting Shaw. High. A ball 2-1. Two out, nobody on with that 3-run Boston lead. They led all day yesterday. Not today. Padres had an earlier 1-0 lead. A fly ball deep down the right field line and foul and out of play. Padre run in the first on the 2-out double by Solarte. And then the top of the 2nd, 1-out walk. 2 batters later, Shaw, this guy, a 2-run home run. He replaced the Kung Fu Panda at third base. What a bust for Boston. After being such a great player in San Francisco, regular season, postseason hero. Pablo Sandoval. Highly paid, but he ain't doing anything for it. Injured this year. Horrible last year. Fouled out of play. Third base again. Stayed at 2-2. Shaw followed the home run with an RBI single the next at-bat. This is his 3rd plate appearance. He takes inside on the curveball from Kevin Quackenbush. And a full count. Beautiful night for MLB. Flags are barely rippling, but they are. 3-2. That's low ball 4. Here's David Price. Striking out twice so far in the ballgame. Once against Cosart, once against Villanueva. Aztec for life. Steven Strasburg came off the DL today with that bad elbow. Had to leave the game with injury. Don't know yet what it is. Pitches in there. Strike call to Price. Braves lead the Nationals 3-1 in the 7th inning in D.C. There's 0-1. Fouled out of play. Third base. Mentioned Dansby Swanson had his first home run in the majors. It was inside the park. He got his 2nd one over the wall today in that ball game in D.C.
Boring.
Yeah, if they say the triple's the most exciting play in baseball, inside the park home run's got to be one base better than that.
Makes sense to me.
And so few of them. Here's a 0-2. Foul back out of play. I'm channeling here my inner Ted Williams And I do believe that the Splinter, as they honor him today in the 80th anniversary of the PCL, that Ted Williams had one inside the park home run, and I believe it clinched the pennant on the final day of the season in the 40s for the Red Sox. I remember that. This is an 0-2 chopper foul. Back.
Padres haven't had one in over 4 years. 17 inside the park homers in Padre history, the last in June of 2012 in Milwaukee for Everth Cabrera.
Ticket motor.
Yeah.
Gosh, I thought he was going to be a terrific player. I missed on that. 0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss for David Price. He has struck out for the third straight time against three different Padre pitchers here today. Quackenbush, 2-out walk, no big deal. The Red Sox, they leave a man. 5.5 gone. With baseball brought to you by Collins Family Jewelers. Collins Family Jewelers loves helping couples. Great selection of bridal sets. All rings include free sizing, appraisals, rhodium finishing, and lifetime cleaning. That's Collins Family Jewelers, located in the Mira Mesa Mall. 5-2 Red Sox. Teddy Jesse with you. Like they say in football for bowl games, these Red Sox, they travel well. And it's not, hey, don't think it's just the Lone Ranger situation here with the Padres. They do this in Anaheim. They'll do it in Toronto, I'm sure, to a lesser extent, I would think, in a different country for the weekend. Everywhere they go, just like the Cubs, the Yankees, tons of their fans in the other team's park. Will Myers takes ball one. 3, 4, 5 hitters here in the sixth. David Price, pitch number 71, foul back. On that changeup of his, it's a good one. 1-1.
I remember when we were at Tampa a few weeks back, and Don Orsillo was doing TV for the Padres, and he said he had never seen that ballpark look like that. There was nobody there. And, of course, that's usually what it looks like at Tampa, but when the Red Sox were there, which is when he was there in the past, it was always jam-packed.
Of course, with non-Ray fans. 1-1. That's a strike. Been living about 92 on the fastball. Maxed at 94, David Price. Last year, Detroit and Toronto. Tampa is where he made his living initially. Out of Vanderbilt, the 1-2, right down the middle. Strike 3 called. What a terrific pitcher. His command is awesome. Not overpowering. Just awesome. It's, I was going to say Kershaw, but I think it's more Bumgarner-like to me with the stuff. Not a knee-buckling curve like Kershaw. And Bumgarner doesn't have knee-buckling stuff. Just get you out. Half a dozen strikeouts, 1 gone. Here's Solarte. The RBI double. For the first Padre run in their only lead. Takes way inside, ball 1. 20-game winner for Tampa back in 2012. 20-5. Wow. With a 2.56. Had a 19-win season also for the Rays. He deals way inside. To Solarte, of course, from the right side. 1-1. Has a sign from Leon. 1-1, swing and a miss. I mean, a big swing and a miss on the cut fastball. 1-2. I think the cutter's been better than the breaking ball with the change today, you know? Gee.
And he's just mixing and matching. And, I mean, you can't have any idea what's coming. They're all working for him right now.
One, two, swing and a miss. There's a change. Strike 3, 7 strikeouts. He's been in double digits 7 times, but not for a while. Not since July 10 in double figures. He'd done it in 3 straight games back in July. Coming off back-to-back games of 7 strikeouts in the wins over Kansas City and Oakland. Here is Alex Dickerson. Yo, homeboy. 5-2 Red Sox, bottom of the 6th, ground ball first base. Hanley Ramirez backing up on it. He's got it. Nice perfect feed right there. Underhand. to the pitcher Price on the cover. Early play, 5-2 Boston. Leadoff man in the 7th. That's Pedroia. That's Jesse Egler.
All right, thanks a lot, Teddy. He's led off in the 1st, the 3rd, and as you said, now here in the 7th. And Kevin Quackenbush in his 2nd inning of work out of the bullpen delivers a fastball strike at the knees. 0-1. Last time up for Pedroia, he did not lead off an inning. In fact, he came to the plate with 2 on and 2 out, and he delivered a 2-run, 2-base hit back in the 4th. This one is in the dirt and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pedroia. That hit, the 2-run double in the 4th, is looming large for the Padres right now. 5-2 Boston as we open up the 7th inning. Padres got a run in the 1st and a run in the 3rd. Here's the pitch from Quackenbush. Fastball misses outside, 2-1. And Boston has allowed 2 or fewer runs in 6 consecutive road games. Over the weekend against Oakland, and then back 1 before that, and the 2 so far here in San Diego. If they do it again tonight, it'll be the longest stretch like that for them since 1909. Slow roller to 3rd. Solarte charges, makes a perfect throw across the diamond. And Pedroia down, 1 away here in the 7th. That was maybe a lot to take in at once. I'll say it again. Red Sox have allowed 2 or fewer runs in 6 straight road games. If they make it 7 tonight, if they hold the Padres without a run in these final 3 innings, it will be the first time since 1909 that Boston has done that. Good pitching as of late, and it has helped out when their offense, while the highest scoring team in baseball, has been slowed down a handful of times as of late. 1 out, base is empty for Xander Bogaerts. Number 2 hitter is 0 for 2 with a walk. And he takes a curveball strike from Quackenbush, 0-1. The Red Sox next win, be it tonight or over the weekend in Toronto, will match their win total from a year ago. 0-1 curveball is outside, 1-1. They've already blown past their win total from 2014. Last place each of the last 2 years. Here's the 1-1 to Bogaerts. Foul ball back over the screen, 1-2. And in a lot of ways, a very similar cast of characters to the 2 last place teams. Now tied for first coming into play today. But yeah, David Price got off to a little bit of a bumpy start, but excellent as of late. And some of these young guys really taking that next step. Especially the guy on deck, Mookie Betts. Look out, high and tight to Bogaerts. He threw the bat backwards as that one came all the way up and in. Did not hit him, but came very, very close. And the count evens 2-2. Pitch ran all the way up and in on the hands. And as he turned away, sort of released the bat, and it flew behind him.
Because today's batters dive into pitches like that. Because pitchers don't pitch inside, don't dust guys. Don't throw at them like they did in the old days, so they have the confidence to be able to, cover that outside part of the plate by diving in. All of a sudden, wow, they're not used to getting out of the way of pitches like that.
That's twice tonight. In 2 innings, Quackenbush has come way up and in. 2-2 is low outside, and now the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Bogaerts.
If more pitchers did it, watch what would happen to the numbers overall, how it would go down, how guys would be not as confident, even with their armor on their arms, the padding, to do what they do.
There are teams who do pitch inside more than others right now. The Pirates jump to the front of my mind. But nothing like it used to be, as they say. 3-2 pitch popped up. Very, very shallow right field. Schimpf, Myers, Jay, all there. Jay will call for it. And the right fielder makes the catch. Bogaerts pops out. 2 away. Follow Padre Baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. Two down, nobody on for the Red Sox in the top of the 7th inning. 5-2 Boston. And Mookie Betts 0 for 3 tonight at the plate. First pitch curveball is high. 1 ball, no strikes. Third straight night with a big crowd at over 40,000 on Labor Day. Just over 30,000 last night. This pitch is low outside, and they just announced tonight's attendance at 31,662. 2 balls and no strikes to Mookie Betts. Takes a fastball just outside from Quack. 3-0. Betts sitting on 30 homers and 100 RBIs. He and David Ortiz both have reached those numbers this year. It's the first time the Red Sox have had 2 3,100 guys since '06 when Poppy and Manny did it. There's a strike on the outside corner, 3-1.
Poppy and Manny, huh?
Those guys.
It sounds like a corner diner back when I was a kid.
3 balls and a strike to Mookie Betts. 2 outs, bases empty in the top of the 7th. Fastball popped up again on the right side. This time it'll be Schimpf handling it just out on the outfield grass. He makes the catch about shoulder high. And Kevin Quackenbush, 2 really nice innings for the Padres. He has allowed 5 hits. Derek Norris leading off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And he takes a first pitch cut fastball for a called strike. 0-1. Yeah, Price so far, 6 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits. He has not walked anybody and struck out 7. This next pitch will be his 80th. So as of now, that's not an issue. Here's the 0-1. And Norris hits it well out to left field, but Young comes over a few steps towards the line, makes the catch. Hard hit line drive, but it's an out. 1 away in the bottom of the 7th. This season, every time the Padres catch a runner stealing, Bay Alarm will donate $100 to the Padres Foundation. With Bay Alarm, you're protected 24/7, and you can manage your system wherever you go. For a free security review, go to bayalarm.com. Bay Alarm, your local security experts. Shift on the right side as Ryan Schimpf stands into the batter's box, batting 7th tonight. And 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts against Price, who delivers a fastball strike. Inner half, 0-1. The 1-strike pitch is grounded foul outside of first. No balls and 2 strikes to Schimpf. He went down swinging in the 2nd and was punched out in the 4th. David Price now in his 9th Major League season. In the first 8, he was in the playoffs 6 times. Jason Marquis-esque. 0-2, got a piece of it, fouled it off at the plate.
Jason Marquis-esque, huh?
He was in the playoffs every year, right, at the beginning?
That's right. Hadn't thought of him for a while.
Price, of course, a huge part of those teams. Tampa, Detroit, Toronto last year. 0-2 to Schimpf. They set up outside. They miss outside. Fastball at 93. 1-2. And it's looking like he's going to make it 7 out of 9. Hey, how many years was it for Marquis at the beginning of his career?
Can I recall?
It was a great stretch. It was a great little trivia question. 1-2 is fouled straight back. You can check that.
My New York homeboy, Jason Marquis.
Yeah.
Sure.
Came up with the Braves in 2000. I guess it wasn't every year. His team went every year. That's what it was. He didn't necessarily pitch. But the Braves, the Cardinals, Cubs, Rockies at the end. 1-2, grounded over to first base, but foul. Anyway, the Red Sox, as you said earlier, spent big money this year to bring in David Price back in December with all eyes on October, and it's certainly setting up that way again.
Hey, they've lost Lester. They lost Lackey.
Yeah.
They had to.
In search of win number 15 tonight. Schimpf battling him here after falling behind, and another 1-2 pitch is grounded foul again, right side. Skips up into the second row, just past the first base dugout.
I asked Jason Marquis one time, I said, Jason, when you're on the Belt Parkway outside Brooklyn, what's that sign? And he says, when you're leaving Brooklyn, it says just that. leaving the borough of Brooklyn. Forget about it. With Fuhget, however they spelled it, like they talk in there. That's what it says on the actual sign put up by the city. Hey, forget about it.
1-2 again to Schimpf is again fouled off. Just beyond the Padre dugout. Ricocheted on top of it, rolled to a fan. Talk about embracing the stereotype.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, it's like in Donnie Brasco, as Pacino always playing that mafia character. They always talk like that. Oh, no, don't even ask. Forget about it. Forget about it.
Schimpf battling here. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. And it's hit well out to right center field. Bradley going back into the gap. He's still on the run. He's not going to get there. It hops up against the wall in right center. Ryan Schimpf with another extra base hit, a stand-up double, and what an at-bat against David Price. He fell behind, and he just kept fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch. It was 0-2. He took a ball, and then 4 straight fouls before doubling into right center field. For Schimpf, his 14th double of the season, pairing nicely with the 17 homers and the 5 triples. So by my math, 48 major league hits, 36 for extra bases.
On the Schimpfometer, you are correct, sir.
I like that, the Schimpfometer.
Sure.
Should have a little thing on the scoreboard that fills up. Yeah,
that's right.
Here's Jankowski. 1 out, runner on second. Padres down 3, and he takes a good curveball for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. 5-2 Red Sox here in the bottom of the 7th. Schimpf obviously seeing Price for the first time. David struck him out each of the first 2 times up. And this time he did not give in and eventually got a pitch he could handle. It's a great at-bat. 0-1 to Jankowski. A little roller third base. Coming in is Shaw. He throws across, gets Jankowski by a step. Schimpf goes to third, but now 2 away. And Adam Rosales will come up for the second time tonight.
It's going to be so interesting in spring training. Say Spangenberg's back. He's more athletic. He can run. He's got more range at second. He's a better second baseman. Doesn't have that power. And is totally healthy against Schimpf. And then how do you grade Schimpf, in terms of spring training and all that stuff? On home runs, because he's only, a low 200 hitter, although his on-base percentage is like almost 345 coming in. And how do you grade those two, say, battling at second base? Because clearly, Andy Green has said Schimpf has not won the job.
Called it wide open.
It'll be exactly. And that's good. Does he have to, hit 3-4 home runs in the spring to win it? Spangenberg won't do that. Going to be very interesting. Tough call to make by Green and A.J. Preller.
2 outs, runner on third for Rosales, who's out in front here. Swings and misses at a changeup. 0-1. And, by the way, it might not be a 2-man race. Carlos Asuaje, the Rookie of the Year in the PCL this year, could be involved in that, and I'd expect him to be. We saw him very briefly here for his big league debut this year. He came over from the Red Sox in the Kimbrel trade. Great season with El Paso. Fastball is on the inside corner for a strike to Rosales. 0-2. And who knows who else could be involved. It's September 7th. March 7th, this will feel like years ago.
True.
But you're right, it's totally wide open and very interesting. Even if it is just really Spangenberg and Schimpf. Different guys, different skill sets, apples and oranges. 0-2 in the air foul down the right field line. That'll find the terrace.
And we realize apples and oranges also in terms of minor league numbers, especially the PCL with these small parks, altitude, hot, and everybody's hitting, 330 and all that stuff. So it's hard to get it, as they do in the metrics, adjust for ballpark factor. But it's nice when you have the MVP in the California League, get the MVP, Hunter Renfroe, voted the most outstanding, most exciting player by the managers in that league. That's a good sign, and I haven't seen that a lot in my time with the Padres. It's a good sign.
Here comes an 0-2 to Rosales, and another foul ball back behind the plate in the air. Yeah, look, people can say, oh, well, MVP of the Cal League. I mean, not having the MVP of the league is not as good as having the MVP of the league.
Well said, by gosh.
Yeah, it sounds kind of obvious, but it's not a bad thing. It would never be a bad thing. And Really enjoyed the Kevin Acee story in the Union Tribune today. He obviously spent a really good amount of time with A.J. Preller sort of hearing about the plan and these guys and where the Padres are headed. 0-2 is inside. Fastball at 94 from Price. Now he's approaching 100 pitches. He's gotten through 8 innings, a bunch this year, like 9 different times. But here in the 7th with 2 outs, he's at 96 pitches. Went 7 in his last start. That was a win Friday night in Oakland. Ball and 2 strikes to Rosales. Schimpf leads off of third. The pitch is grounded foul outside of third base. Rosales entered the game as a pinch hitter back in the 5th inning, stayed in to play shortstop. Struck out in his only other at-bat against Price. Trying to avoid that same fate here. Like Schimpf before him, got down 0-2. And now battling. 7th pitch of this at-bat is on the way. And the 1-2 is swung on and missed. Good changeup. And Price collects his 8th strikeout up a month ago. Waiver claim from the Giants on July 6th. He was optioned directly to Double-A San Antonio. And now in a Major League game for the first time in his career. And this guy has a really neat story. Baseball is the sport where you can kind of come out of nowhere and have a shot. And that's absolutely what's taken place here with Jake Smith. Pitching at a small college after high school, of course, and not any kind of prospect whatsoever. Goes home for the summer. And his old high school coach is working on the grounds crew for the Augusta Green Jackets, single-A affiliate of the San Francisco Giants. So he loves baseball, wants to be around the game. All right, I'll volunteer to work a minor league grounds crew. First pitch to Hanley Ramirez is hit well out to left field. Dickerson back at the wall. He leaps. Did he make the catch? No, he just missed it. Into the first row for a home run. So Hanley Ramirez takes Jake Smith deep. First pitch he ever throws in the big leagues just gets out of here. And the Red Sox add on now 6-2 in the 8th. Hanley had just missed home runs in each of his last 2 at-bats. Those were to center field. This time he pulled it to left and just got it over the fence.
And he's been locked in. He had home runs in 3 straight games, and we've seen it here in this series. Like you said, the way he's hit the ball. That a couple I thought were gone when they left the bat. And finally one that is.
Dickerson made a great effort at it and just missed it. Red Sox fan. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's a San Diego jersey. I saw the red letters, but it's an old PCL road jersey. In the first row, let it come to him, didn't reach over, and a home run. Sandy Leon now, he swings and misses. And a cutter from Smith, 0-1. So anyway, the Jake Smith origin story now that he's got a Major League homer allowed under his belt. He's working basically for free on the grounds crew of the single-A team in Augusta, Georgia. He grew up in North Augusta, South Carolina. Pitch down and in, 1-1.
Would that be Augusta Green Jackets?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And just to be around the game, and his high school coach on the grounds crew says to one of the coaches on the Augusta team, hey, watch this guy throw a bullpen session. He does. They report back, and the Giants end up drafting him in the 48th round. Pitch misses. 2 balls and a strike to Leon. So think about that. You're in this little college. Nobody's paying any attention to you. You're just pitching because you enjoy it. And your high school coach on a grounds crew of a single-A team helps get you a bullpen session that helps get you drafted. And now here he is in the big leagues. Line drive foul. Back to the ball boy down the right field line. Ball girl, excuse me. 2-2. So the Giants end up drafting him based on that. And now getting his Major League opportunity with the Padres. Cool story. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Leon. 1 run in for the Red Sox. They have extended the lead 6-2 here in the 8th. Leon 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout, a flyout, and a groundout. They shift on the right side. And the 2-2 is popped up, shallow left center field. Jankowski on the run, coming over, can't get there. Kind of fell between he and Dickerson. I thought Travis was going to make that catch. And I don't know if he and Dickerson had a miscommunication out there. Looks like maybe, because they're discussing it. But it sort of fell right between them, in front of them. And it's a little flare single the other way for Leon.
I thought Travis is with it all the way, and Alex came a long way. I don't know about calling him off. It's too far away to know. But I think Jankowski thought he was called off because he pulled up. And that's when it fell in. And then that would have been, I believe, a catch by Jankowski.
So a homer and then a single off of a miscommunication against Jake Smith. And the batter will be Jackie Bradley Jr. First pitch fastball misses outside. Andy Green said that when they get Smith in a game, he'd like to look for a soft landing. As in, not a tie game in the 8th inning or anything like that. But against this lineup, it's not soft. Fastball called strike, top of the zone, 1-1. Got Ramirez, Leon, Bradley, Young, who's locked in. Ball and a strike to Jackie Bradley Jr. He takes a cutter just inside. And the count goes to 2-1. Well, Bradley hit the ball back in the 4th inning that really changed this game. It's a ground ball to first base. Will Myers made a nice effort to get to the baseball. Flipped it underhand to Jared Cosart. 2-1, tried to check his swing, couldn't. 2-2. And Cosart kind of had to go up in the air to field the throw from Myers. Came down awkwardly, missed the bag, so it was an error on Will. And Cosart ended up having to leave the game. Padres later said he strained both his hamstring and his groin. 2-2 to Bradley is high outside. And that error led to a couple unearned runs. Ended up being a 3-run inning for the Red Sox in the 4th. And on top of all of that, Cosart had to come out. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jackie Bradley. Runner goes from first, ground ball to first. Myers goes to second. They get 1. Rosales' return throw, double play. 3-6-3. That was really nicely done. I didn't think they'd have a shot at Bradley. Leon was running with the count full, but he's not a fast guy, and Myers, aware of that, went down, got the lead runner, but a great return throw by Rosales to complete the twin killing. So well done by both Myers and Rosales. Now 2 out, spaces empty for Chris Young. Young 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored, and he takes a fastball strike.
In this disappointing season, among the pluses on the checklist there is that Will Myers can play first base.
Yeah.
Like he's been there 3-4 years, and he hasn't.
1 strike pitch hit in the air center field, pretty deep, but not too deep. Jankowski goes back. He is short of the warning track. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. So the lead, enjoy it. Red Sox now with a 4-run lead, 6-2. That's the bad news. The good news is, hey, David Price is out of the game. Koji Uehara has come on to pitch, his first appearance since coming off the disabled list on Monday afternoon. So David Price, who went 7 innings, allowed 2 runs on 6 hits, did not walk anybody and struck out 8, is done. And Uehara pitches for the first time in over a month. His last appearance was July 19th against the Giants at Fenway. Good strikeout pitcher, and he delivers a ball just low to John Jay, 1-0. Jay back in the starting lineup tonight, back in his familiar leadoff spot, but playing right field. Oswaldo Arcia got the night off with Price on the mound. 1-0 pitch is fouled off the end of the bat, back towards the backstop, 1-1. John Jay 1 for 3. Single and a couple of ground outs to second base. Uehara delivers, and again, it's fouled back. This time to the screen, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Red Sox have a lefty, Robbie Ross Jr., up in the bullpen. You got Solarte and Dickerson if the inning gets long. Might be what they're thinking, or it could be for Brett Wallace, who's stepped into the on-deck circle. 1-2, again fouled straight back by John Jay. Uehara actually has reverse splits this year. Left-handers batting just 169 against him, while right-handed hitters are batting 240. Jay swings and misses. That is strike 3. One out here in the bottom of the 8th. Padres baseball is brought to you by the Honda dealers of San Diego County. Padre fans, when it comes to driving an incredible car value, Honda hits it out of the park. See the all-new lineup today at your San Diego Honda dealers. Visit sdhondadealers.com. One out, base is empty, and Wallace will be the pinch hitter. Brett takes a called strike, 0-1. Did not see Brett last night. He pinch hit in the 7th inning on Monday, the only Padre to come off the bench. Swings and misses at a high fastball here, 0-2. Wallace, 6 homers, 10 doubles. With Yangervis Solarte missing a couple of months with injury this year, Wallace got a fair amount of time at third base, but now sort of settling back into that pinch hit role that he really excelled at last year. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Went back to the high fastball and got him, and Uehara, off the DL out of the bullpen, has struck out the first 2 men that he sees here in the the bottom of the 8th.
September, Fan Reward Month. Did you know that? Fan Rewards Month. Be at Petco Park for any game this month, and you could get one of the many lucky fans, be one of them, who get rewarded for just being a fan. There'll be giveaways including Sony TVs and headphones, stays at the Omni Hotel right over here yonder, and a whole lot more. Make sure to be at Petco Park in this month of September.
Will Myers with 2 outs and the base is empty. Fouls the first one off. Back behind the net over the plate. 0-1. Somebody chose their fan reward to meet you earlier this evening. That was very nice.
Very nice of them, I might add. Cool kid, Jeremy. Wants to be a broadcaster.
Love it. Myers swings and misses, 0-2.
I tried to talk him out of it, but I...
Uehara struck out Jay, struck out Wallace, now ahead of Myers, no balls and 2 strikes. I think he and Leon, the catcher, were crossed up there. Having a brief conversation out in front of the mound. Splitter in the dirt. Koji back atop the mound, Leon behind the dish, and now Myers into the right-handed batter's box. Uehara from the first base side of the rubber delivers, and the 0-2 is grounded foul. Went off of Myers' foot or shin, kind of rolled up the third base line. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Another splitter. David Price stands to win. His first 7 starts this year. After those, he had a 6.75 ERA. It's about 3 since. Pitches high to Myers. Fastball misses, 1-2. So while Price's overall numbers might not look as dominant as they did in years past, once he sort of figured out being in a Red Sox uniform, he has returned to form, and that's something to keep in mind in October. 1-2 is hit in the air high to left, but not deep. Coming in is Young. He'll make the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 8th inning in his return off the disabled list for Koji Uehara. We'll head to the 9th inning at Petco Park. Red Sox with a 6-2 lead. That wasn't super accurate. We don't share a microphone.
You got to hand it back and forth.
Yeah, exactly.
We're cutting back. And you have to share from now on. That's it. Ooh, that's a big chant if we want Poppy. I want Poppy too. Travis Shaw. Breaking ball delivered by Campos in there for a strike.
Hey, the one time we saw Poppy and got Poppy in this series, it was great for the Padres. He popped out to make the final out in the win on Monday afternoon.
Campos set, delivering. It is low 1-1. And if you weren't listening earlier, I mentioned that I corrected myself when I said that Big Papi had been suspended for PED use. No, he was accused of that, but he was not suspended years ago, which hurt me at the time because I love these big-bodied guys that look like they don't need that sort of stuff. Hit the ball 9 miles. He's always been that to me. 1-1 on the way, fouled out of play, third base. And as I mentioned, this baseball game needs guys like him with that incredible, effusive personality that is so great with the fans and the media. The broadcasters love him. Larger than life. And one of the most popular Red Sox of all time. And all it took was one guy tweeting that I had said he was suspended, and then 8,000 Red Sox fans went nuts, as I expected they would. But I misspoke. The 1-2. Swinging him at strike 3. Down goes Shaw against Campos.
They're booing Brock Holt just because he's not David Ortiz.
And he's not, by gosh.
Who is?
Holt started game 1 and had himself a single in 4 tries. Two for 7 as a pinch hitter. One would think in most of the interleague games as opposed to the Red Sox American League stuff. Fastball foul back out of play from Campos. Making his 13th appearance in his latest revisitation of the big league club. Very famous franchise, this Boston club. Had the Boston Braves many years ago, a National League club that went from Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta, along with the Red Sox, an American League club. Pitch in there, strike. 0-2. 6-2, Boston. Padres had a 1-0 lead after the first on the 2-out double in the first by Solarte, but then the 2-run home run by Travis Shaw, who just struck out. Back in the second, they've been leading ever since. They from Boston. 0-2. Ground ball foul, first base. I mean, you look at historic franchise, they picked the all Red Sox team of all time. Guys like, Carl Yastrzemski and Ted Williams and Cy Young, for heaven's sakes. Those kind of names, get your attention a little bit. Holt, the left-handed batter. Campos, very deliberate worker, always has been. 0-2. High fly ball to deep right field. Jay had him played in. Jay's going on back. The ball's going on back. The ball is gone. They're not booing for Papi now because Brock Holt had a pinch home run. Well into the seats in right, little toward right center. And it's 7-2 Boston in the top of the ninth.
Chris Young hit a pinch hit home run in the first game of this series for the Boston Red Sox. They had gone 364 games without a pinch hit homer, and now they've done it twice in 3 days.
Pedroia taking fastball high, ball 1. So we say 7 home runs for Holt. 33rd run batted in. It is an offensive machine. These Boston Red Sox, they are. 1-0 less curveball by Campos. 1-1 outside. One pitch way outside, 2-1. 1 out, nobody on now after the home run in the top of the ninth. Hit number 8 is run number 7 for the Red Sox. Toronto's lost again. It looks like they are going to be in sole possession by a game in the American League East. Baltimore still coming in, a game out for the wild card. Tigers 2, Astros 3. Pitch outside, 3-1. But the Astros, A.J. Hinch said, hey, I may not have Keuchel the rest of the year. Not good. Pedroia went single-double. Middle at-bats here. This one he takes on the 3-1 outside for ball 4. Jake Smith, 1 inning, 2 hits. A home run in his first pitch in the majors, as noted by Ramirez last inning, by Holt pinch hitting this inning, by Shaw back in the first. Here's Bogaerts. $80 years anniversary PCL. Kid from Hoover High in San Diego goes to the Boston organization, plays with the PCL Padres, and goes on to be, as he said he wanted to be, the best hitter that ever lived. Ted Williams. Pitch a strike to the right hand hitting Bogaerts. Last guy to hit 400. It wasn't just the 400 that year of 1941. His on-base percentage was .553 that year. He walked 147 times. He hit 37 home runs. It's a joke. And he was 22 at the time, as I recall. Swing and a miss by Bogaerts. 0-2.
Yeah, the on-base percentage, I hate to say might be more impressive than the average, but it really might.
Oh, no question.
I mean, over half the time?
Bogaerts is 0 for 3 on the day. Fourth Padre reliever after Cozart got hurt. Had to leave the game. Regular ball. Swung on a miss. That's strike 3. Second out here in the top of the ninth. Padres have the 4, 5, 6 batters scheduled. Bottom half Solarte, Dickerson, Norris. Campos, couple of strikeouts, says Mookie Betts. They talk about that year. They talk about, I mentioned 1967, when they had that amazing September, and Yastrzemski was just ridiculous. He hit 400 for the month of September. He hit 396 with runners in scoring position for the month. 376 with runners in scoring position, 2 out. That kind of split is unheard of. That's how great Yastrzemski was. This is a ground ball, base hit. No chance for the shortstop. Rosales on to center field. Pedroia will go to second after his base on balls, and now the single by Mookie Betts. Hence all the Mookie out there by these thousands of Red Sox fans. Glad they came.
If I would have told you in like November of 1986 that Red Sox fans in the future would be chanting Mookie's name, you'd probably not believe me.
Yeah. Sky's on with that single 25 consecutive games by hit, error, or hit by pitch. And hitting almost 400 himself during that particular streak. Here's Hanley Ramirez. And Yastrzemski wasn't just offense. 7 Gold Gloves. Nobody could play to carry him off the Green Monster like him, ever. He was amazing. Campos delivers. Chop foul. In on a good location there. But the slider, strike 1.
What a cool thing the Green Monster is, when you think about it. Where I grew up, Bucky Dent, of course, at the famous homer over the Monster, he had a baseball camp in school. And I got to go one summer. And the main field at the baseball school was the exact dimensions of Fenway. Green Monster and all. So as a kid, you got to go. I was never an outfielder. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm an outfielder. I put my hand up just so I could go out there and take balls off the Monster.
It is so different.
It's really neat.
It is 0-1. Chopper down to third base. There's Solarte. He'll grab it. He'll race to third base in front of Pedroia. That'll be 5 unassisted, and that'll be all here for the Red Sox after they add on a run in the top of the ninth inning. 1 run. Padre baseball. Into the bottom of the ninth. The winner takes the series. The Red Sox have a lead. A large lead of 5 runs. Grinder enter for a chance to win then by playing the MLB 16, the show on Padres Social Hour, and win great Sony prizes like an Ultra 4D 4K TV, camera, headphones, or Bluetooth speaker. Retweet any tweet from @Padres containing the hashtag Play the Show with a Pro for a chance to win. See Padres.com for details. We've seen Brad Ziegler in Arizona this year. Going to see him with the Red Sox. He delivers outside ball 1. They inherit Solarte. Brock Holt stays in the ball game at third. Travis Shaw goes third to first. Herrera's playing second base. Ground ball staying fair, hugging the line right over the bag, right to Shaw at first. He's there, stepping on the bag, one away. Here's Alex Dickerson. Colorado for 4, starting tomorrow. May 7:10, 7:40. 5:40, 1:40, etc., etc. Pick a game, pick a time. High chopper over the mound, grab there. Little basket catch. That ball is called foul. That's why Dickerson has not run. But the pitcher's not waiting on it. He's got to make the play, waiting on the call. Called it foul. Now John Farrell's sauntering out to say, no, it wasn't.
Speaking of the Rockies, by the way, scored 3 in the bottom of the ninth against the Giants to come back and beat San Francisco. And the Giants, they got problems.
Can't score runs?
That would be one of them.
That's a big problem. Yeah, that's a big problem. They asked the umpire to get help. They have a meeting. Kerwin Danley mentioned Aztec for life, former player for Jim Dietz, who coached there for a long time before T. Gwynn. And Kerwin says, nope, foul ball.
Yeah, Dickerson, I mean, he was hopping around the batter's box like he is in pain because of the foul ball. That seems a bit extensive if it didn't hit him. I haven't seen a good replay of it, but I think they got it right.
Pitch by Ziegler to side armor. It's outside, 1-1. Again, Shaw at first. Marrero is at second. Holt at third. Not that it matters. Dickerson grounds one against the shift. He beats the shift with a base hit to left field. Multi-hit game for Alex. Singled in the fourth, singled in the ninth. One out runner for the boys. For Derek Norris.
Yeah, Dickerson's still hobbling around a little bit. He definitely fouled that previous pitch off of himself.
So Ziegler with Arizona had a 2.82 in 36 games. Here with 20 ball games, a 1.89. Stepped in there, as mentioned, when Uehara had the pectoral muscle that put him on the DL. Now he's back. Uehara, the 1 inning. 1, 2, 3, a couple of strikeouts in the 8th. Now Ziegler delivers to Norris. Chop foul, third base. It was a fun series. So I said thank you to the Red Sox and to the Red Sox fans. They made it very exciting here. You know, when you're way out of a race and you got games in September, football started, college, pro, in this particular community, it's great to have an exciting series like this. And the Fowlers and the Sidlers will take this Red Sox fans' money also. So thanks for coming. It's a foul ball again off the foot of Norris all the way out to third base. 0-2. So once it became a non-save situation after it was 5-2, would have seen Craig Kimbrell in a Red Sox uniform in this ballpark, the former Padre of a year ago, but that did not happen when they've added on runs to lead by 5. It's a non-save deal. Norris 0 for 3. Breaking ball, chop foul, third base. These guys got a long flight on their charter jet to Toronto tonight. That'll be over 4 hours. Pitch by Ziegler. Takes it inside. 1-2. I mean, Ziegler's fastball these days is like 83, and his changeup is 73. And he still gets guys out. Norris, the high fly ball, deep left, but going to be foul, out in front, and in the lower box seats. Red Sox will send Porcello out there looking for his 20th win. in the opening game in Toronto on Friday. Clayton Ritz is going out there for the boys tomorrow against Jeff Hoffman. Colorado Rockies, the 1-2, breaking ball outside. Rockies will be flying tonight, 2 hours from Denver International. So you can beat curfew, you can land anytime. Landing's okay, but you can't take off. Or they'll fine you thousands of dollars if you break the curfew in San Diego. 7-2 Red Sox, 1 out, 1 on in the bottom of the ninth. Ziegler's 2-2, chopper foul, third base. This guy was an all-star with Oakland a couple of years ago, Derek Norris. Nice first half, mediocre second half last year in his initial Padres season. And this season just never got on track. I think we made that perfectly clear. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. In on his so-called sinker at 86 miles an hour, strike three. And John Farrell's going to make a pitching change in the 7-2 game.
What in the Bruce Bochy is going on over here?
Say what now? Come on. Got to be kidding me. He's going to go. We're going to see Craig Kimbrell, it appears, right now.
On the mighty 1090 Padres Radio Network.
Craig Kimbrell on here after becoming the latest in a long line of terrific closers in the history of the San Diego Padres in trade for the Boston Red Sox, and now being acquired, and now acquired from Atlanta, sent on to Boston. And everybody in Boston thinks the Padres made out like bandits in that particular trade, among others here, like with Mike Pomerantz, Drew Pomerantz, of restocking the Padre farm system. And so we'll see what happens. But for now, thank you, Boston. Ryan Schimpf against Craig Kimbrell here. 2 outs, a runner on. A 5-run lead, a non-safe situation. Runner being allowed to go, that's Dickerson. That'll be defensive indifference, no stolen base, but Alex goes to second. On ball one outside to Schimpf as he sees another guy he's never seen, and this time one of the great closers.
So obviously John Farrell wants to get him some work. You know, they don't want him going too many days without pitching. Kimbrell worked over the weekend in Oakland, actually lost that scoreless game, gave up the run. They won it for the A's, but it's just odd that it would come with 2 outs.
Yeah, odd is a good word. As in, go figure. There's a breaking ball, his curve for a strike, 1-1. Had he been in a safe situation, he was going for 250. He's 28. You know when Mariano Rivera got his 250, he was 33. This guy's on a record pace. One of the great young closers for his age of all time. Kimbrell, 1-1, way inside. Got him? Yes, it did. It hit Schimpf. 2 aboard. 2 away. Now Travis Jankowski will see him for the first time. Well, Travis was with him, of course, as a teammate part of last year. So as we mentioned, Toronto losing again in New York to the Yankees. Red Sox hold this lead. There'll be a game up in first place after they came in tied today. Kimbrell pitch to Jankowski, line to left. One step to his right is Chris Young. He makes the grab. The Red Sox have won the ball game, and they've won their series as they come in to Petco Park for the second time all time. No runs a hit. Padres leave a couple of men here, as in half a dozen for the ball game in the ninth inning. 7-2 Red Sox is our final. Back with the wrap here. Post-game show coming up shortly. Mighty 1090 Padres Radio Network.